make sure that she doesn't miss any sheep along the way. And then she's going to get in behind the sheep and work back and forth behind them to bring them back to step. Now again, this is all of Lucy's natural herding instinct, so we don't actually have to teach her how to do this at all. Part of that instinct is to keep those sheep as close to step as possible wherever she goes. So you will notice that Lucy tries to stay on the opposite side of the sheep to step to keep them close to her. Now this is great when we're working our sheep in big nice open paddocks, because it means wherever we go, the dog is going to bring the sheep along behind. Us. But as soon as we need to move our sheep through a narrow obstacle like a gate, we don't really want to be standing in front of all of those big heavy sheep with the dogs pushing them forwards, otherwise we're going to get knocked over and hurt. So what we can do is teach our dog a set of directional, or more accurately, a clockwise and an anti-clockwise command, which is what Steph and Lucy are going to show us now. So we can use a combination of verbal commands, whistles, hand signals, and even just our own body language to tell our dogs what we want them to do. So we have that clockwise and that anti-clockwise, and that way we can be safely out of the way while we're moving our sheep. So Steph and Lucy are now going to move our sheep through the obstacles out here in the paddock. Now, I will tell you, we do have one very cheeky sheep in the show today. See if you can spot him, right? So he does have a big blue dot on his back, so we know which one exactly he is. He's very, very naughty. There we go. Lucy's done a great job at getting him back into line with the other sheep. And so when she does get them through that obstacle, we'll give her another big round of applause because she's working really well. Oh gosh, he's trouble, that one. So this is a very important skill for our dogs to have too, is if our sheep do split off from our obstacles or from our gates. Out on those big farms, it could mean that sheep missing out on its annual haircut, and that is an animal welfare issue. So we do have to get every single sheep through those gates, into our yards, and to our shearers as well. So let's give Lucy a big round of applause for that. She's done a great job. She does have a bit of work in front of her, but she's got lots of energy. Do have to be incredibly fit and agile. Out on those big large properties, they can easily run over 40 kilometres in a day. And we have clocked them at about 45 kilometres an hour as well, so very, very fast dogs. So a lot of training does go into our dogs. Usually starts when they're about 2 to 3 months old, with the same basic obedience you'd teach a pup at home. And then by the time they're about 2 to 3 years old, they're ready to be working out there in our paddock. So another big clap for Lucy for our second obstacle there. So those two obstacles that we've just put our sheep through are what we call a raceway obstacle. Often leads into a yard or like into a swinging gate, which we can actually separate our sheep with. So basically we just have a swinging gate in the middle. We have our dogs pushing those sheep through. We can swing that gate back and forth to separate males and females, or weaning lambs from their mum as well, which is very handy skill for us to have. So the last obstacle is our tank stand there. So you will see Steph is facing the obstacle. So again, that body language, she's indicating to Lucy where she would like those sheep to go. And our dogs are so smart that they do pick up on that. You'll notice too that we aren't giving our dogs treats. So we don't use treats obviously because it's just quite impractical out there on those big large properties to be constantly giving our dogs treats. So we use lots of praise as well as the reward of work. These are working dogs. They do love having a job to do. So if they are doing the right thing, they get to keep on working. If they're doing the wrong thing, they have to have a timeout, and that is enough punishment for them to learn the tricks of the trade. So the last job for Lucy and Seth to do is to get our sheep down in our yards here at the front of the paddock. This is a very important job, especially when it comes to shearing time. We have to get all those sheep into our shearers, as well as just to count all of our sheep and check them over as well. Now Lucy's going to have to put just the right amount of pressure on our sheep to get them in there, and we will just wait till that gate is completely shut behind our sheep, so to give her last round of applause. So that's definitely make sure all those sheep are in there and we have no sheep trying to run out. Alright, big round of applause for Lucy, guys. She's done a great job today.